Hello, friends, acquaintances, and scholars alike, and welcome back to episode 4 of Fatetales Presents Tea Time. I'm Fatetales, and we have today a repeated fan favorite, for reasons we'll get to in a moment, of chamomile tea by Celestial Seasonings. And today I am joined here with the sickly green red.
Yep, Red's feeling green today, and I asked our lovely host here if she could make me my favorite tea, chamomile tea.
And with this topical conversation of feeling green, today we are talking about sickliness and how you care for yourself or how you care for others when you are sick. How would you like to begin?
Let's start off how I got sick. In this day and age, it's not COVID. Friend of mine was feeling kind of nauseous, shaken, phlegm, and I was like, take care of him, chicken noodle soup. Did it, and then today I'm feeling nauseous and phlegm and like eating anything will make me nauseous, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's a subtle stomach virus. And now I'm getting it, but I have a lot of stuff to do. So exhaustion and sickness, especially stomach sickness, is not going well today.
No. I do want to point out your chicken noodle soup is way better and different than like my chicken noodle soup that I know of.
Oh yeah, because it has a drop of culture. But anywho, yeah, that did make me feel better. But when I had some for myself today, I was like, ooh, this stomach virus is not the one that makes you throw up. It's the one that does not let you eat, or else you'll throw up.
Yeah.
Which, because I've had stomach viruses before, where like once I throw up, like I'm good for the rest of the day, but it's not letting me consume anything more than like a spoonful of anything.
That sucks. I think I've had a stomach virus before, but I don't know how long since it's been. But I do know I get some, very rarely, I get headaches that just throw off my appetite to the point where I just feel motion sick.
Is it like a migraine or just motion sick?
I don't know if I've actually ever had a migraine because, like, I've never been, like, put down by my headaches. They always just feel like you put a finger against your forehead and apply a good amount of pressure, and that's basically my whole day.
I feel like when I'm about to get sick, I usually get sick because of my sinuses. My sinuses get easily congested, like all of them. We're talking about ear holes, nose holes, throat holes. Any sinuses are filled and they just are not going anywhere. So no runny nose, no like um the ears are fine, and I have really bad allergies. So when that happens, I feel such a pressure headache that I'm like fainting. You saw that in me like last semester, and I told you I was like my sinuses are apparently all blocked. No
Yeah.
wonder I feel like every time I take a step, I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah. That's actually one of my key indicators when I start feeling sick is when my ears start to like not be I don't know what the actual term is, but I can call it like pressurized. They pressurize
You mean
wrong.
clogged?
I don't know.
I feel like one of them gets clogged in a weird way, and then you're like trying to put your finger in there and trying to clog it, but that's
But for me it's both ears
uh,
and it's like when you hold your nose and like try to breathe in, that's the feeling it stays at.
yeah, I get you, I get
And that's one of my key indicators of how I know I'm mostly getting sick. And like for the most part, I don't get sick, which is how I'm able to identify that so quickly. Because like most of the time, year in year out, before COVID, after COVID, a lot of the like during the school year, I'm just congested in the nose for the most part with
you. In
like
all
minor
honesty,
head
if
colds.
I could live life always being congested, I'd do it because my voice be sexy when I'm congested. Not congested right now. Give me like if I'm ever congested, first thing we're doing is another podcast. The world needs to hear my congested voice.
Ah yes, like sick Markiplier voice.
Exactly. Those views rock it.
Yeah, but for the most part, like, I don't get sick enough to ever have, like, my own, like, personal care routine. For the most part, I do the exact same thing I do every day, except now I just sit there a little bit more sluggishly.
I somehow, when I am sick, in a broader sense, I feel like I have to do more. I don't know why. I should be doing less.
Yeah,
But I feel like to me, it's like I have to be doing stuff because if I'm busy doing stuff, it'll take longer, but means I'll be distracted from the actual me feeling like shit.
yeah.
Um,
I don't think my household gets sick very often because I think we ended up catching COVID by accident at my house.
And you all got it at the same time, right?
Yeah, because I didn't leave the house. One of our housemates doesn't really leave the house, and my mom works, so she's the only one that leaves the house. So when everybody suddenly got sick at the same time, we figured out easily who brought it home, but it's like it wasn't really her fault. She did everything right. It just happened. But for the most part, like nothing changed in the household for the most part. But the most was, oh, we all feel like crap now. That's fun. Time to stay home for like a couple weeks.
When I get sick, I never like when there's a cold going around in the school. I feel like in my best recollection, I haven't gotten sick off that. I've always gotten sick. I wonder if I'm patient zero. I've always gotten congestion sick where it's like it's never really my throat. It's always like excessive runny nose and like phlegm, and I'm not good at taking out phlegm. Like a week or two before the whole school gets like the 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 sickness that goes around.
Mm.
I wonder, maybe I'm patient zero.
Maybe I am the cause.
But let's go with the train of logic that I'm not patient zero and I just have a good immune system, but I do get just congestion sickness, which I prefer. And I wonder, would you rather, because colds usually last like a week, would you rather like a cough cold or just excessive runny blocked nose?
I'd rather that because coughing just gets annoying. Because then, if it's like a really bad dry cough, then you're just left with a hoarse voice. Although that's not what I experienced when I had COVID. Like, I didn't have very many coughs, but I was sneezing so hard that it killed my voice. Like, I didn't know I could sneeze that hard that frequently, and I didn't know that it would straight up like ruin my throat.
That's how I was when I got my first vaccine. I was sneezing to the point that I lost my throat. My voice, not throat. Oh, Jesus Christ. If I did lose it, I'm glad I found it. Uh, I would not be here. Anywho, yeah, I lost my voice because I was sneezing so gosh darn hard, and you've heard me sneeze. I go all out.
Oh yeah, you were loud.
Yeah, I love the feeling of a sneeze. It's like euphoria in a way.
That's weird. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, pain.
I'm okay if it's weird. You know why? Because no one else will try it, and I want this secret to stay with me.
I also think sneezing is like different for person to person. Like how a person sneezes changes. Like some people have these really high pitched sneezes, and then there's the iconic dad sneezes.
That's what I have. I over exaggerate. My normal sneeze tends to be like my voice, like the gurgle I have in the back of my voice. You just hear it in the sneeze, but I overdo it, so I feel the euphoria in it. So I love when I'm like sick with like I love pollen season because like oh the euphoria.
I think you're the only person that has ever said that sentence.
Look, you are all lucky that I'm telling you guys the secret today. This is also why my name is hidden. I don't want any ads.
Oh yes, the whole 5 viewers.
Yes, this is my entire concern. They can't know that I love euphoria and sneeze. But one thing I do want to know before I say mine, what's your favorite sick food? But let's talk about like, actually, what's your favorite food when your tummy's not feeling good? Or safe food?
I don't have one.
Really?
Because like again, in my household we don't get sick. So if you're sick, it's just like here's food.
Well, ain't that nice? Aren't you the epitome of a perfect immune system?
Sadly. Because when like I don't often get like deep stomach sick to the point of where like I want to throw up. I haven't had that since I had my head concussion. So like there is
That doesn't count.
but that is my version of sick because that is technically sick. I was hurt.
Mm.
So and I couldn't keep anything down. But like even then like I didn't have any like go to safe foods because anything I put in my system would just come right back. Like water was not even safe. 7-Up was for some reason.
I think
yeah.
I was like that with the concussion, but it's been a while. I do not recall what it was like having a concussion. And I think it's because I got a really severe concussion where it's like I whiplashed onto, this is a story for another day, but it was a whiplash and it like hit the momentum of the time I fell was really bad, so I got a severe concussion and it actually affected the memory issues. But so I can't be that specific on what happened, but yeah, that'll mess you up.
Yeah.
But right now I'm not at the point where like anything I eat will make me throw up. It's like I know I will throw up with anything, but if I eat slowly, like I eat half a spoonful every 15 minutes, I'll be fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I can say I have any like safe foods. It's just kind of like, oh, you're not feeling good? Well, make sure you just pump fluids and eat something.
As if we don't already know.
Pretty much. And at that, it's not even said because like when I got my booster during what break did we just have?
We had spring break.
Yeah, so during spring break, I got my booster and I just felt like a bag of gravel.
Oh yeah.
There was nothing my mom could do. She was at work. So what did I do all day? I just laid there, feeling like a bag of gravel.
Um, my experience with not the booster but the second vaccine, I got it at like afternoon as in like after 12. And then I didn't feel the effects. I was like, oh, I'm fine, just my arm hurts a little bit like the flu. And then it was like 8 and I was so cold and I couldn't sleep and I somehow fell asleep at like maybe 1 2 in the morning. I woke up at 4 in the morning because I was like, I need to go to the bathroom and make bears. We will explain what making bears is. Make your best assumptions. But I was sitting there and I was ready to make bears, and then I was like, I'm going to pass out. I'm fainting. I'm seeing stars right now. And I was like, I also need to make bears. What do I do? So I stopped halfway from making bears, and then I laid on the ground to not pass out because that's what you're supposed to do when the tile in the bathroom tends to be cold. I did end up passing out. I woke up. What my half sister told me after like an hour because she was worried, and then I immediately woke up, plunged myself forward, head in the toilet, and just threw up. But I hadn't eaten anything, so I was just dry heaving, pure like stomach acid, and I was like so exhausted to the point where like it was such force at the second hurl, like dry heave, I was dripping sweat.
Wow.
I don't know if it was because of the immense amount of force or because of the it went from super cold to super hot because of the second vaccine. That's what made me scared to take the booster. I was like, I do not want to deal with that.
I didn't have that severe of effects when I got my second dose for the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I felt like I was a pizza in an oven when I was trying to go to sleep, and then my eyes had pressure the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I didn't really have anything terrible.
Good for you. I'm so glad you don't. I actually, like, I'll say it as a joke, like, good for you, but I wish that upon no one. Have you ever tried dry heaving in general? It's horrible.
It sucks.
It's horrible. It's, you know it's gonna hurt, but you're like, I can't not do it.
Because it's not something you can control. It's an involuntary response.
Gee, if I could just live my life congested forever and never throw up, I'd do it.
You know what? Same. Because it's like,
didn't you get sick of, what did you eat with chocolate that made you viscerally sick?
I don't know. I think we concluded it was the mixture of soda and chocolate in too quick of succession to one another.
Yeah.
Dude, I will tell you, I think that is the closest I've been to like actually sick.
No, I think that is the worst sick you can have, because you said you were on the floor laying down like unable to move. That's the type of sick I'm talking about.
Yeah, because like laying down was the only thing I could do, but laying down wasn't helping because I felt like I was just being stabbed from the inside by my own ribs.
What I think it is, now in retrospect, maybe that chocolate was expired.
What chocolate even was it? Like, what? I don't even remember what chocolate it was.
You got like a Hershey bar from the C-store.
Maybe. I don't remember. I just remember it was like with the soda because it was during dinner.
It was a snack meal. That's what I'm saying. And the snack meals are a drink and a candy bar.
But I don't remember if it was like one of the desserts though, because I'm not sure if it was from the C-store.
It is, because where you got the soda in a bottle.
Maybe. It's
which
been
would make sense. Yeah, it's been a while. We just know for sure it was soda and chocolate, and that chocolate really messed you up. I came in after you were like, I think you came into my room, like, I threw up, and I was like, you feel better? And you're like, yes.
Yeah, I was just like, I felt like garbage. And I knew as I was laying on the floor, I had to throw up, but I didn't feel it. Like, I wasn't getting nauseated. So when it finally did start to strike me, it was a very, like, small sensation, but it was enough for me to, like, okay, it's go time. And then after I did, I just made a mess. Like, it was terrible. I'm glad I had eaten beforehand as well because it
Are
made
you?
that process so
Oh,
much better.
I was like, are you? Because, like, you just threw up good food. I'm pretty sure we had good food that day, too.
Maybe I don't remember.
It's been too long.
It's calf food, so probably not.
It's only been a semester. I feels like I've been here for years. I'm in prison. Send help.
But yeah, just then afterward, I just went. Oh, I threw up.
It's the best feeling.
I think I was in this shirt too.
You were. You did have residue of throw up.
It was just a mess, and I was like, I'm gonna go change now.
You know what? How I knew it was actually a good throw up for you?
Hmm.
Because the I have a nose meat. It's hard for me to smell. But the only times I know how to smell things, I know what throw up smells like because I've told you this before. I'm not very good at throwing up. I'm not very good at chucking out phlegm. I'll swallow that thing instead of throwing it up.
I wish I understood how you do that. I need that in the morning.
Because I hate throwing up. But there will be times that I cannot prevent it, and because I can say with confidence, I don't know how to throw up, I let it out on my nose, which means I can smell it because it's literally there.
Yeah, you can't get any closer to your sinuses.
When you came to my room, I was like, that's a familiar smell, which means that you reek of that thing that I'm familiar with, so that means it's a good throw up.
And I couldn't really smell it. Like, I have a hard time smelling some things, but not like everything. So, like, I couldn't smell it. I don't know if it was just because it's one of the smells that I have trouble with. But, like, I was just like, ugh, I feel so much better. Because, legit, I was sitting on the floor because no matter which way I laid, I was just violently stabbed.
I wouldn't think of. I think I know getting off track, but still on the same track. The same train, different cart. I know when I'm gonna throw up before nausea hits. Like, obviously nausea hits and you're like, I'm gonna throw up. But there's throw ups where, like, you don't even get nausea, it's like visceral. I know for the same reason that, like, I'm not very in tune with my bodily functions. I tend to ignore them because workaholic. But the one thing I know is I'll be sitting there and I'll be like, a lot of saliva is coming out of my throat because you swallow saliva day to day, like every couple minutes. And then
I just did.
It was coming up, and I was like, ooh, this is a sign that I'm about to throw up.
Oh no.
That's my sign. And I know it all the time. And every time I feel like that spit going up back into my mouth, I'm like, time to lay down. And that works 7 times out of 10.
I think we've exhausted this topic enough.
Oh yeah.
But I think one of the more common things I do if I'm just generally sick is one of my biggest trends, if you know I'm not feeling well, is I'm typically a lot more quiet. I'm obviously just more tired because like I just remember one day I was feeling absolutely terrible. It was when I was in middle school. And I was just
we going way back.
Yeah, and it was later in my middle school years, so it's still relatively early. But like I was just sitting on my couch and I was just slowly passing out. I just didn't feel good. It wasn't like I was like on the floor ready to just die, but I was like it was just enough of not feeling good to put me on my trend of like I'm gonna just sit here, and if nothing is interacting with me, I'm just gonna fall straight asleep because apparently that is my mechanism for like to try to like feel better. And it still kind of works today, not to the same extent. If I don't feel good, I'm still gonna just lay my head down on whatever surface I'm closest to and then just kind of hang out there. Or like if I'm at home, I'll probably end up curling up next to my mom because she is my pillow and I love her.
So that's your like chill, calm, soothing remedy.
Pretty
For
much.
me, I think you saw me in my room one day where I was like, I'm gonna get this towel and I'm gonna get it wet with like hot water and put it on my forehead. And I asked you to change it for me one time.
Yeah.
I was really not feeling good. That's like my soothing, calm, easy to do. Like, get a bowl of boiling hot water, little towel, rinse it, strain it, put it immediately on there. It gets cold, do that again. It's like, it's a tiny bit of hassle, but it's enough if you're like, for me to feel good.
Let's lead it into that concept into another topic. So like I actually do whenever like my friends are like really feeling sick. I typically go for like the warm towel thing.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
when Monty was sick, was not feeling good one day. My first instinct was hot towel, cover your eyes,
Mhm.
cuz that sensation is like right there. I don't do it myself, so I don't really get what the sensation is, but I just know like perfect thing to do.
Oh,
And
but it also depends what type of sickness, because then we're looking at temperature of the towel, because sometimes it gotta be cold.
yeah. But for the most part, I go with warm
Mhm.
because generally just that feeling of that warm heat helps to soothe like headaches, I would assume.
Yeah. But we should talk about this because we're gonna be like official roommates. We gotta know how to take care of each other.
Yeah.
Hot towels. I have mini towels for this exact purpose.
Oh, my little hand towel is no longer on my bed frame. That's hilarious.
I have like two medium ones and then
My
two
dish
small
towels
ones.
are my go-to because I don't have rags
Any
like I do at
towel
home.
works at this point. At the point where you're sick, it doesn't matter if it's a brand name towel. Towel, it
Towel.
doesn't matter. No, I just want to feel warmth in my forehead. I might need that in a bit. Ugh,
Although I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sitting here comfortably with my weighted blanket. Sometimes you just need some pressure to start feeling good.
oh, I feel that, but I'm in my sick outfit right now. I have my comfy shoes. I have leggings that don't have pockets because I don't feel like wearing holding anything, and I have an extra large flannel on. That's my comfy outfit for like I don't feel good.
Yeah, you gotta have your comfy outfit, and then when you're laying down, you gotta pair it with that just evenly spread, not heavy, but there pressure. And it just makes you feel safe, secure, and warm. Because for even this blanket says it'll keep you cool, but it is a weird sensation. Like you've slept, I've had you sleep with this blanket a lot. Like, can you agree that it's a weird sensation? Like you're cool, but you're warm.
Yeah, it's almost like it keeps the type of warm that you get like on the verge before sweating.
But it just
But
keeps you
yeah,
there in
it
that
keeps you.
perfect spot.
How do they do it? This is why I need a weighted
That's
blanket.
why I like this fabric.
Mm.
It's like this really stretchy light gray fabric, and like there's an obvious like temperature difference just between the two different sides, and like I don't know what it is about this specific type of fabric, but it just keeps you so comfortable, which is why I don't want my feet to tear it up no matter how hard I try, but they already have.
I don't move when you put that thing on me.
Oh yeah, cuz like it's heavy for you.
Yeah. But what you're telling the folks is get yourself a 15 to 20 pound minimum weighted blanket.
Well, this one's 15. It really depends on
It
like.
does not feel like 15.
Well, it does when you're carrying it as a singular mass. But if it's spread out nicely, oh heck yeah.
Jesus, I could deadlift like two something, and that thing feels heavier than what I deadlift. I don't know why. Maybe it's like my grip on it, but
Well, also you also have to consider like how it is. Like 15 pounds doesn't seem like a lot, but it also depends on like how much surface area it takes up. So like I can throw it on top of you and you're gonna collapse to the floor because it's a lot of weight over a large surface area. So it's gonna drop you down even though it doesn't feel as heavy. But if you hold it as a ball, as just a massive weight, it's gonna feel heavy but manageable.
the face I'm giving you of you giving me a physics lesson while my tummy and Red's feeling green. I do not. I love you, but Jesus Christ.
And when does the culture person give a physics lesson?
Um,
Technically,
you
that's
want a physics lesson from me?
you're technically the closest to anyone in this room, be it the two of us, that have the authority to even speak on physics because I haven't studied math in a few years.
I took physics last year, so if anybody in this room, when it's full of the one other person that's in here,
Normally, she's not here right now. She's
yeah,
somewhere else.
she at work most likely. I'm probably the most. I'm not gonna say the most versed at it. I'm probably the one to go to because it's most fresh in my mind.
Yeah, you are so far the closest to have that authority. Meanwhile, I'm over here like I can explain to you why your perspective on culture is wrong.
Oh geez.
That
As
is
long as you don't fight me on my culture, I'm good.
no, but I am here to listen to your culture and basically dissect it.
I dissect the culture you have. Or
And
what
I know that is my favorite dynamic between the two of us.
we just ask like so many questions.
Compare and contrast is my favorite thing. But that's kind of why this one's a really interesting one because like you're from a Hispanic Mexican culture, so I would assume you would have a lot of like endearing foods for like when you're sick or just not feeling
Oh
good.
my god, the only one that matters right now that is gonna have a shock is that if you have a really, really, really bad cough, like the type where it's like you want to avoid it at all costs because it hurts so bad, we go to our Mexican Hispanic corner store or little market. It has to be a little one because they only have it in a little one. And in the cash register, you ask the lady for a black garlic.
Oh yeah, I
It
remember
is
you telling me
mushy.
about that.
It is mushy. You put that, you make it into a tea, and you drink it. I've never had it because I've never had that bad of a cold. I've had mumps before. That's probably the most sick I've gotten, and I almost died when I was really young. I was told by like my grandma, but it's because they were gonna take me to get the mumps vaccine. It's not like they were anti-vaxxers, but it's just coincidentally like I take my vaccines in my birthday, and it wasn't my birthday yet. It was like a month before my birthday, and then I contracted mumps from a random person, and I almost died. And mumps is contagious, so it was really hard for them to treat me at home because it's like, oh, we don't want to get my grandma who was taking care of me at the time. She did not have the mumps vaccine, so it was like a scary time. I would not be here. Who knows? It's weird. Like I got mumps like fourth grade. It's not that long ago. In retrospect, it's weird. It's like if someone gets polio. It's kind of weird. You'd think mumps would be eradicated by now.
Well, mumps is one of those things that the anti-vaxxers have inadvertently brought back.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Um, but I was too young to like know even what anti-vaxxers were. And
I think we all were. I think it's still a fairly new thing.
I also didn't know what mumps were until like last semester. I just know that they were called paperas. And like, cause not a lot of people had paperas in Mexico, so there was no really big need to get the vaccine. That's probably basically just culture wise, but
Yeah, I'm not even sure what mumps really are myself. Like I hear about them a lot, and I know they're really bad, and I know it has like some bits of swelling, but for the most part, I don't really know what mumps is. Which I guess is a good thing because it means that like I've been in communities where it's just not a thing, and it's never really been a thing in my family. So it's just like, is it good that I don't know what it is? Does that mean that the doctors have been doing their job?
I like that logic. Although some would be like, no, don't be ignorant. Well, we shouldn't have to worry about them if
Exactly.
because they should be eradicated. But obviously, stay safe, kids. Get all your vaccines. After that, my grandma was like, we are gonna get you every single vaccine because we don't know anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I got every vaccine, and I'm always getting every vaccine because if something as simple as mumps, which should have been eradicated at the time, could have killed me, you never know.
Yeah, that's kind of what I respect a bit about like U.S. and vaccine culture. Like when you have a child, they tell you come back when the child is this many years old to get these set shots, and then they'll basically tell you here are the ages that the child needs to come and get their shots. And then it's like after that, a lot of the I remember my last vaccines were mostly recommended from my high school to get because of like sexual activity increasing and shit like that. So like you get vaccines to prevent certain transmittable diseases.
Yeah, I mean, ugh, it's probably a story I can't even share, but jeez. I'm feeling way better with this chamomile tea. I also took a Tums. I didn't. The Tums I have are antacids, but at this point, any Tums will help, and chamomile tea, ooh, nice.
Heck yeah, that's why we go for the redo fan favorites.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I had to ask for an extra thing for mine, which I usually don't do. I let you do the tea perfectly, but I'm not feeling the sugar.
Yeah.
I was tempted to be like, just don't add sugar, but I also want some flavor to
Yeah.
enjoy tea.
Yeah. the original choice for today was going to be in pomegranate oolong, but you know what?
5 minutes before we started, I was like, friend, not feeling good. I want to do it, but I want to drink something I love.
So next time.
Next time, we're definitely doing that because I do want to try that one.
And I'm going to tell you, it's on par, if not better, than chamomile in terms of like cozy.
You getting my hopes up?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Stick around. See if I'm going to be disappointed or not. The stakes are high.
The stakes are high.
I'm now excited. Jeez, I'm never excited for tea.
I know, right? That's kind of my favorite thing about being the tea nerd of the group. Because, like, everybody, I swear, everybody says they do not like tea. But what I hate about that statement is most people have generic black sweet tea. And the Arizona tea brand is the one I've most commonly like know of that most people would have had. And what I absolutely hate about that tea is it's made with corn syrup, which is bad, as priorly discussed in episode 2.
I'm glad you remember. I'm too sick to remember.
It's only episode 4.
Oh my god. I feel like I've been living ages. Anywho.
But yeah, so
proceed. I just almost waterboarded myself.
But that's why I don't like it when people say they don't like tea in a very generalized sense, because for the most part I don't think people understand how many different teas there are. Like, that's kind of why I like to introduce the tea at the beginning of the episode, so then it's like we haven't had a strictly the same kind of tea. We've had a black tea, we've had a green tea, we've had chamomile. These are not the same teas. These are different flowers in leaves entirely.
Every herb, every flower has a different taste. There's flowers that are edible, there's flowers that are not. There's flowers that are edible only in tea. There's flowers that are only edible physically.
Mm-hmm. Edible physically. I like that.
It's probably not the right terminology, but hey, I'm sick. I get a pass.
Yeah. So, like, that's what I love about tea. Like, oolong is a black tea. Lady Grey is a black tea. Earl Grey, black tea. Irish breakfast, black tea. English breakfast, another black tea. And then with, like, green teas, you get a variety too. But then there's also white tea, which...
Have I had a white tea? Have you given me a white tea?
I don't think you've had white tea, and I'm out of white tea, sadly. I consumed the last one of them for myself.
How dare you?
Hey, it's my tea. And technically, my collection is mostly a gift. So I have been trying to devour through these teas for probably over 4 years now.
Well, now we have a reason to do it.
Exactly. Other than I'm just thirsty and I don't want sugar, or I don't want soda or water.
She's depriving me of tea, guys. Oh, I'm also... This will probably go into next episode, but just sneak peek. I'm cutting off caffeine.
Ooh.
I'm weaning off it this week. Obviously not going cold turkey, but I've been weaning off it. These past 2 days, I've been going to Starbucks. Only matcha. Still has caffeine, but it's not pure coffee.
Yeah.
I'm feeling those effects. Not why I'm sick. This is a stomach thingy.
No, because we've actually done, like, the full cut off, let's see how long we go without caffeine thing already.
Oh, I've been drinking too much soda. I need to stop it. That's the next step. Tomorrow, no soda.
That's kind of why I fly through my Diet Cokes so quickly, because the faster I get through those, the quicker I get back to just having my 2 cups a day.
Yeah.
Because I think I have a pretty good balance of, like, I have 2 cups a day, well, 2 glasses a day, and then it's mostly water otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, maybe my 1 venti Starbucks, but at that, it's mostly chocolate, so it's not that good anyway. But you know what?
Sometimes you spice it up. Sometimes you get the Java chip, and it has a little bit of caffeine. Sometimes you need that extra kick.
Yeah. I don't like the Java chip as much, though. It's a little bit more bitter, which I don't like. I think I should go back to my other order. I haven't had my other order.
That's what I feel like when I do, like, matcha. The way you are with Java chip and double chocolate chip is the way I am with matcha. If you order it iced latte, there's more milk, less caffeine. If you order frappuccino, that sugar is going to cover the amount of caffeine that's in it.
Yeah. Which is really interesting. I think we might have to redo the coffee episode, and we'll just have to rediscuss it later. I know. We are not under time constraint, woman. But I guess we
My
kind of.
bladder is.
But I guess we are kind of at our natural limit. So I guess we'll wrap up this episode, friends. If you want to continue the discussion, please be sure to leave comments down below. I have been reading all the wonderful comments. There's been somebody who's been in the comments going, what was it, Mexican Mamma Mia?
Oh, jeez, I need to look at that. Why haven't I been informed?
Because you don't you haven't even finished episode 1 on your own. Called out.
It's because that was the only one I wasn't in. Don't tell Money. Don't tell her.
Hey, if she wanted to have some more work, she's the reason we started this podcast. And she's always been the first
MIA.
episode.
She's been MIA,
but
she's a hard-working lady. We're her kids, and she gives us sweets.
To be honest, she calls me mom, so technically she is more like my daughter. I treat her as such and make sure she does what she loves. But anyway, back to the closing.
If you wondered, I'm the dad.
Yes, Papa. But if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave some comments, leave your topic ideas, further your discussion, maybe even suggest something. I don't know. Call it stupid. I don't really care.
Yeah, anything at this point.
And maybe talk about your favorite beverage, like something you love but think is heavily underrated or people have negative stigma types to.
Yeah, and stay safe. If you're sick, take care of yourself. That's what I'm going to be doing after this.
And practice good behaviors. If you're not feeling good and have to go out, mask up, be respectful.
Yeah, and have some chamomile tea. Jeez, favorite tea for when I'm sick. Coming from a coffee addict.
Come on, gotta get them good food, good drinks.
Former coffee. Well, soon to be former.
To be former. You gotta keep it where it's at. Anyway, till next time, friends. Bye.